Hello, what I'm going to show you today are some sweet peas. Now sweet peas come in two different types of varieties. You get the perpetual ones or the everlasting ones. They're the same sort of thing, and you plant those and they'll come up every year without you having to re-sow them. Or there are the annual ones, the ones that you have to plant every year. Now there are so many different varieties, and it is entirely up to you which ones you're going to plant. The ones I'm going to plant today, they're the annual ones. I have tried the perpetual ones before and they are very nice, they're lovely, but they tend not to have, or maybe the ones that I had, they just tended not to have much smell to the flowers. Now the whole point of growing something is so that you get something from it, either that you know, you get to eat it, or it smells beautiful, or it looks gorgeous, something. And the perpetual sweet peas do look very nice, but they have no smell. Now I like sweet peas that smell and smell nice. Obviously I don't want them that smell horrible. So the two varieties I've got this year are supposed to smell absolutely gorgeous. Sweet peas are lovely growing up some trellis or some netting anywhere in the garden, or they're lovely if you want to grow them in a hanging basket, because then they'll sort of droop over. There are so many different places that you can grow them. They do say that they're hardy annuals, so you can technically sow them straight out into the soil. However, I don't want to do that. I want to start them off in the greenhouse and give them the best start in life that I can before I put them up. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. Now the varieties I've got, they're these ones. We've got Incense Mixed, and we've also got High Scent. So I'm hoping that these ones will smell absolutely gorgeous. So they will sow in exactly the same way. So I'll just show you one of those. Now they don't like their roots disturbed much when you transplant them out into the soil, so you could, if you wanted to, sow them in half a toilet roll and then you would just move it out. But what I'm going to do, because I'm running out of toilet rolls because I've used them so much for the onions and the garlic, and I want to save what I've got for the beans, so what I'm going to sow these in are 3-inch pots. I'm not going to do one per pot, I'm going to do about 4. So when they're going outside, I will just tip them up very gently and just move the pot and then just put them in the soil. But I will show you that when I do them. But I'm hoping that that will be okay, and I won't be disturbing the roots a huge amount, and they'll have a nice amount of soil to start growing lots of wonderful roots. So let me show you how to sow your sweet peas. So you don't need anything high-tech or anything like that. You just need some multi-purpose compost, and what I would suggest is that you fill the pot right to the top, give it a shake down, and then give it a gentle pat down. Okay, we want it just slightly underneath, just slightly below, completely full. Now if you're sowing your sweet peas inside, you can sow them inside January, February and March, beginning of March. Now it's the 2nd of February today, so I'm going to sow mine today. If you want to sow them straight outside, you need to sow them out in sort of April and May time. But I just want to sow them inside just to give them a little bit of a head start. Now these are the seeds. They all look practically the same. So let's move that around. And they're just little round black balls. Now I'm going to sow 4 of these in each 3-inch pot. So I'm going to just put them on the top of the soil, north, south, west and east. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push them down. The reason I put them on top to start with is then I know where I've put them, because if you push them down and the soil falls in, then you might not remember. If you're very busy, you might not remember exactly where you've put them. So put them on top to start with, and then just push it down with your finger up to sort of your first little knuckle here. So they're about 3/4 of an inch underneath the soil, like that. And then you just need to fill these little holes in. So just get a little bit more multi-purpose compost and just put it on the top and just smooth it down, and this will just keep them covered. Don't push it down too hard, just a gentle sort of pat down, and that's that one done. So I'll do the rest of them and then I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, so there are 8 of them done. In fact, one of these I've actually got 5 seeds in, just because there was one extra. So I've got 8 of these here. All we need to do now is to give them a water. And we'll just keep them in the greenhouse, and in about 2 weeks, depending on the weather, we should see tiny little shoots come up. They'll look like little green sticks, but I will show you that when they start to come up. So that's the high scent ones. We'll just put the label there, or actually in there, I think, and then we know what we've got in there. When you're sowing brand new seeds, just make sure that you use brand new compost. Don't use stuff that you grew something in last year, because it won't be sterile, and new seeds need sterile soil to grow in. And also the water you use, make sure it's fresh from the tap. So that's those ones. I'll just carry on doing the other ones. Now, I did come across a seed that had actually broken in half there. If you do come across any that are damaged, the likelihood that these will sort of root and start to grow is quite small. So if you do find any that are broken, I suggest you just get rid of them. Right, well, that's the sweet peas. That's one lot of sweet peas done. I'll just stay in the greenhouse now and I'll sow the other ones. If you are sowing them inside, like I am, you can start sowing them January, February and March. If you are going to sow them direct outside, make sure that it's about April time. Obviously, just check on the back of the packet, because each packet is ever so slightly different. But these should come up. We should get some beautiful flowers, and hopefully they will smell glorious. They will attract the bees, so therefore they'll attract the pollinators to the garden and down to the allotment as well. I most probably will keep most of them here in the garden, because I just love walking out into the garden in the summer with the sweet peas there in the hanging baskets, and you get this smell that hits you as you come out into the garden. They're also very good for picking, if you want to pick some to put inside in a vase, because they have sort of nice clear stems that you can just snip off. And if you want these to keep flowering, when a flower is finished, remove the seed pod, and then the plant will be tricked into thinking that it needs to keep producing more flowers because there's no seed pods. Do that. Maybe save 1 or 2 near the end of the season, and then you can plant them again next year. Well, I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.